if you guys are curious, I'm going to be breaking down everything that this business cost us. This video is sponsored by Notion. Hi everyone, this is Charm again and welcome back to my channel where we talk about personal finance, entrepreneurship, and adulting how-tos. So I've been using a journal or a planner for almost 10 years now, but when I started my personal finance journey around 3 or 4 years ago, I found myself needing to make my own layouts through bullet journaling, essentially making a journal that works for you. So in 2019, I had the idea of making a personal finance book and journal that can guide you and go with you through your personal finance journey, and that's essentially what the Let's Adult book and planner is. In this video, I want to share to you guys my experience writing a book, designing a planner, coordinating with suppliers, setting up an online shop, packing orders, how much everything costs, and more. So without further ado, let's start the video. So when it comes to creating a product like this, there are so many things that needs to be taken into account. So my team and I set up a Notion page wherein we can dump everything that we have to do for the planner. So from designing the planner, writing the book, looking for suppliers, taking note of all the inventory and product shipping and all of that, we put it all into our Notion page. So Notion was so helpful throughout the process. So I will share snippets of how we manage this small business through Notion, but I also talk more about it in a bit. Okay, so first with any product, it really starts with research, and I did a lot of research. I had to go back and analyze all my previous bullet journals, why I made them that way, what worked and what didn't, and I also consulted people who were doing their own bullet journal and also using planners. I also took inspiration online for their own personal finance trackers, their goals trackers, their habit trackers, how they plan their weekly tasks and activities, and everything I got there, all the influences that I've had in my own personal bullet journal, I applied it to what the Let's Adult Planner is today. Like I said, I wanted the planner to grow with the user. And it's not only finance-based, it's actually very holistic. So one of the things that I did to make it grow with you is to make the planner undated. I found myself wasting a lot of pages in my old planners just because I forgot to use the planner that week, maybe because I was on vacation or I was busy, and I felt like it was a waste of page. So having an undated planner will allow you to freely use the pages as you need them. So with the design of the bullet journal, I took inspiration heavily on my 2 previous bullet journals. So these were just some empty notebooks and I had to fill them up myself. So I'll post some pictures on the screen on what they look like. Having that bullet journal in my personal finance journey was very helpful because I get to see my progress and I get to check off my accomplishments, and I always got reminded of what my goals were. So I made a draft of the table of contents I wanted in my book and planner, and I hired a graphic designer. Her name is Bunny. Shout out to Bunny. Thank you so much for helping me out with the planner. But I showed her everything that I envisioned the planner to look like, and then it was a very collaborative process. We were working on it for months. We had a few options, and then we had a select group of people test out our planners. So we had a batch of test users to really use the planner in their day-to-day and to see if it works and what didn't, what needed to be improved. So I also really tried to implement what the others were suggesting that we apply to the planner. So parallel to designing the planner, I also had to write a book. I knew I didn't want to make the book so long because, again, it's mainly a journal, and the book were just chapters that could help guide people in their personal finance journey. So every time I do webinars or talks about personal finance 101, the basics of personal finance, I always have this 6-step process wherein you have to earn, you have to save, you have to spend or budget, you have to protect yourself, you have to manage your debt, and you have to invest. So this serves as foundational knowledge on what people should do when they want to achieve financial stability or financial freedom. So what I did was to insert one chapter of each book before every 2 months. So I have a chapter of the book that's around 4 to 6 pages long, and at the end of that chapter, I gave an action point that you guys can work on for the next 2 months. So it's another chapter and then 2 months, another chapter and 2 months, and so on. So with this, it's really an interactive journal, and honestly, the most challenging part for me was to write the book. I had a lot of help from my fiance who's a writer, but he wanted all ideas and all the concepts of the book to be mine and to sound like me. But I have to be honest that the book part was really what took so long. I didn't realize that writing like a 30-page book was going to be so hard, especially for someone who doesn't really have a lot of experience with writing. So we were trying to finish and polish the planner design as well as finish and have an editor take a look at the book. We were starting to look for suppliers. And wow, looking for suppliers for this was really hard. Initially, I wanted the planner to have a leather or a PU leather cover, very similar to like moleskin type of cover, but it was extremely hard to source out and to look for that material in our experience. So we tried so hard to look for a Cebu or Manila supplier that was fast, reliable, and affordable. So we found it extremely hard because some were very unresponsive. A lot of them actually closed down business because of the pandemic. And for those who are very accommodating and responsive, they either could not do the cover that we wanted or they could not do it at the timeline or cost that we needed them to. So we had to look for China suppliers. It was my first time going through Alibaba and look for suppliers, but we landed on one that I was very happy with because they were so accommodating, they replied so fast, and they were very nice. I felt like it was the right direction to go to for our product because it means that we would be able to sell our product for how much we are selling it now, which is $549. I will talk about all the breakdown of the costs later, but basically it took us around 4 to 5 months from beginning of negotiations to actually receiving the planners, and that's already quite fast considering that we had to do sampling, we had to order 1,000 pieces of the product. So yeah, if you guys are planning to start a business, definitely check out Alibaba because they have a lot of really affordable suppliers and product manufacturers. When our book and planners were already in production, we had to think about all the creative aspects. So of course, we already have the final cover design, which is this very plain green linen. We actually ended up going with linen because we felt like it ages better than leather because leather gets scratched up really easily. We have this logo, but we really made it a point wherein it's not so obvious or in your face. And then we have the words "Let's Adult" because we want a positive reinforcement when it comes to adulting. We have this yellow band over here, and we also have 2 bookmarks over here. So there are also 2 yellow ribbons, and yeah, the paper is 100 GSM. I was very particular about that because I know that's like the minimum if you want to doodle, you want to bullet journal and everything, right? So I was very specific about everything, and I knew that I wanted to create a sample first, which took another month and a half wherein we had to adjust a lot of things. The original design didn't really have this gold stamping, so we had to add that. We also wanted to give a few stickers as freebies, so we have this "Get Ready With Me" sticker. It's a very happy piggy bank. And then we have this "Born Ready" sticker. And then lastly, we have this "Finding Balance" sticker. And then I also wanted to add a thank you card, which is very standard for online shops, but I didn't want it to be very wasteful, so I really tried to make the product, the packaging, and everything as less wasteful as I could. Of course, also within the boundaries and specifications of Shopee, but the thank you card is also actually a postcard. It's something that you can frame. It says "Go Little Rock Star," just something motivational that you can put in your planner, or you can frame it. I actually have it framed in front of my desk. This is a 3R size, so it fits any picture frame that fits a 3R like photo. I think I was actually inspired by Get Ready Cosmetics for this idea. So shout out to May, that's her name, I think. So she's also an amazing entrepreneur. So yeah, it's very simple. We also have this cover already. We had our China supplier already make this, so it's very compact, and this would lessen the need for a bubble wrap. So I'll share later what the bubble wrap is, but basically it just opens like that, and it says, "Are you ready?" And it has our social media handle, and then it opens up like that. So we have the thank you card, the stickers, and then the planner over there. So packaging this, I decided to go the craft bubble wrap route. I don't know if that's the term, but it's this craft paper wherein if you stretch it like that, it makes the package safer to deliver. So it's just something that I wrap like that. And then this is already what I put in the courier's plastic. For example, this is the Go-Go Express plastic. This is their small, medium, they're large. So, in our experience naman, we've only ever used the small. 2, even 3 planners fit inside the small plastic. And we also have this JNT courier because this is what we use for the manual shipment for those who can't order through Shopee and they order through Google Form instead. Again, as you guys notice, there are a lot of moving parts creating even a simple product like this. It's just one product, but there's so many things that you have to think about. And this is where Notion really came in handy. From brainstorming, outsourcing, planning, budgeting, and collaborating with my team, I was able to do all of these because of Notion. What makes Notion really convenient is that you can freely make the pages really suit what you need. So it's very customizable. You can customize a whole dashboard depending on what you need. So that's what we did with the Let's Adult book and planner. Notion's database and linking is very powerful as well. So even though we have pages, we can link them to each other's. With the dashboards, I get to link several pages in one system by just a few clicks and drags. There's so many options, whether you want to create a table, a gallery, you want to create a Kanban board, you need a calendar, Notion has it all. Speaking of it being very customizable, I get to design in any way I want it to look like. From colors, font sizes, I can add icons, I can add banners, I can embed links, photos, files. I can make it as aesthetic and functional as I want it to be. It makes work so much more efficient, but also very fun and exciting. No more trying to search the files within folders of folders of folders. Everything is just so easy to find and very convenient. It's a very collaborative platform because my team who's helping me out with either designing the planner or doing the marketing and sales, they can all check our Notion for everything that they need. So for example, we're selling through Shopee, but there are still some areas that are not serviceable due to the typhoon. So we also accept orders through Google Form and ship them out manually. And also we have PR gifts that we're sending to other creators. So in order for us to track all our inventory, we have a page in Notion called Final Orders wherein we can see all the products that are going out of our system so that we can easily track our inventory. We also have a marketing plan wherein we have a calendar of what our next posts will be, what our promos are, and we also have all our working and final files, our thank you cards, our copies, the text that we send out to people, and everything else. It's really all in our Notion page. You guys should really sign up with Notion for free today with the link in the description. Thank you so much, Notion, for sponsoring this video. So another thing that Notion was so helpful for was to track our income and our expenses. So basically budgeting everything that we had to spend for this planner to come into fruition. But before that, I want to to give you guys a recap on the timeline. So in 2019-2020, I was thinking about creating the planner. It was January 2021 when I finally started it. So January and February 2021, I had to do a lot of research and conceptualization. From March to June 2021, we had to do it in parallel, both writing the book and also designing the planner. From July to September 2021, that's when we had to edit the book, finalize the design, and also start talking and canvassing for suppliers. So in October 2021, that's when we did our product sampling, and we had it finally approved around mid-November, and that's when they had to mass produce the product. So it finished right before the typhoon hit, so they could not ship the products to us here in the Philippines. They had to ship it around January already, and it took another 3 weeks to 1 month, and we finally had the products arrive here in February, and that's why we only started selling the products in February of 2022. So it took roughly around 14 months for us from beginning to end to create and actually sell the products, and what a journey it has been. So if you guys are curious, I'm going to be breaking down everything that this business cost us. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up my Notion board for all of our expenses. So we are producing 1,000 planners. Design and layout cost us 15,000 pesos. The book for the editor helping me out and everything, it cost 5,000 pesos plus royalties of 25 pesos per book. And remember, I told you guys about the sample. The sample actually cost us $300 initially, but we added the stamping, so they had to create the mold for that, and that was $100 more. So to make the one sample, the very first planner that I had in my hands, and there were even imperfections, so it was far from what it is today. It cost me 23,670.56 just to produce one sample. Okay, and then next is the mass production. We had 1,000 pieces produced. One planner cost $2.46 and the packaging cost $0.52. And then we had inland transportation cost to ship it to a warehouse wherein we are shipping from that warehouse to the Philippines. So it costs a total of 164,685.54 pesos. Okay, so next is the shipping. So the shipping and customs and everything costs us 13,380.19 pesos. And then for the marketing costs, we are budgeting around 10,000 pesos for that. So maybe we want to boost posts and stuff like that. And then for the giveaways or the PR packages, we are budgeting around 15,000 pesos for that. So this is excluding the planners itself because we already costed that out. So shipping also per item, we plan to give out to around 50 creators. So budgeting 100 pesos for that, it's around 5,000 pesos. So for the packaging, the craft bubble wrap, the thank you note, the stickers, it's 17,730 pesos. And then for our platform, which is Shopee, they take a percentage, and it kind of differs because different people have a different total every checkout, but it ranges from around 15 pesos to 30 pesos. So here, I just put it at around 25,000 pesos. And then for the waybill printer, which is this one right here, and if you guys saw my story, I bought a waybill printer even before setting up my Shopee account. And I didn't realize that I was assigned to the courier called GoGo Express. And with them, they print na pala their own waybills. So we're just using this for local deliveries, for labeling, but essentially I didn't really need to buy that, but yeah, it's already there. It costs us 2,983 pesos. I will link to everything that we bought online down below in the description. Maybe you are also starting your own business, so I'll just put them there. But yeah, super bloopers. I was so pissed pa kasi it took us 2 hours to set up the waybill printer, and I don't understand, it really wasn't working. The sticker was just upside down pala. It was baliktad. That's why nothing was coming out. And it's thermal printer, so there's no ink. So if it's on the wrong side of the sticker, then obviously it doesn't print. But yeah, super bloopers talaga. And also, we had a photo shoot and that cost us around 6,000 pesos. So yeah, overall, it cost us 328,449.29 pesos. So that's around 329 pesos per planner to make. And we are selling the planner at 549 with occasional promos that might go lesser than that. So per planner, if we're assuming the 549 full price product, we have around 220 pesos profit or around 220,000 pesos profit. And I know that sounds a lot, but that's actually low for a product. When you're selling a product, you usually mark up around 50 to 66% of what you bought it for, or your operational expenses and all of that, and we're barely doing like 50%. So yeah, I mean, I'm not really doing this to make a lot of money. So currently we sold around 100 pieces of the products, which is like 10% pa lang of the product, so that's around maybe 50,000 pesos. Although with Shopee, meron talaga siyang delays. You get your payments much later because they have to make sure that there are no complaints, that the product is in good shape, and also they keep the money for around a week to 3 weeks to make sure that they give enough time for both the seller and the buyer to make any complaints if there are any. So right now, yung Shopee namin, we have a total income of around 16,000 pesos pa lang. But yeah, we're reinvesting everything back to the business. Like I said, we want to do a lot of things for Ready2Adult Ph. So that's where we're getting the most of the capital from, which is from the planners. And yeah, everything's just really exciting, but also really scary, tying such a big amount, around 300,000 pesos, all in inventory. If you guys can see, this is not even like 1/4 of what we have. So these are boxes over here. We still have a lot downstairs. So yeah, it's very exciting to be able to put out a physical manifestation of all the things that I've been talking about here in YouTube, a book and planner that you guys can actually have and write on and use every day. And it wouldn't be possible without you guys. So again, thank you so much. So yeah, I hope that you got to learn a lot from this video about starting a business, creating a product, and starting your own online shop. Creating a product on Shopee was actually very seamless. It was very easy. They make it very intuitive. So I highly suggest doing that. Again, if you guys are starting your own business, you want to manage your time better through your side hustles, through your work, your school work, don't forget to check out Notion. You can make an account for free. I will link it again down below. And yeah, if you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It really helps out the channel a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, ring the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload another video. Again, I know that adulting's already hard, and that's why I made this product for you guys. Let's adult together. And that's also why I make these videos for you guys. If you guys have any questions about starting a product-based business, then comment them down below. Again, this is Charm, and I will see you in my next video. No, down. Share to people.